What's up guys, welcome to another video. My name is Mike Fixacardi. Today we're going to be installing these ISC 15mm spacers on my 2018 Subaru STI. This car came equipped with 19 by 8.5 inch rims with an offset of plus 55 with 245/35 R19 tires. Alright, let's break down the tools you'll need for this installation, starting off with a 19mm impact socket. Next we'll need a regular 19mm deep socket because the wall of this socket is thinner than the impact socket, and you'll see why this is necessary later. We'll need some thread locker, we'll need some copper anti-seize, a 1/2 inch drive torque wrench, some Scotch-Brite pads or a wire wheel, and for this particular wheel spacer I picked up some extended and open-end Titan 7 lug nuts. I needed these because the studs on the spacer are actually longer than your factory wheel studs, and so the factory lug nuts are not deep enough to accept the studs on the spacer. And finally, a 17mm socket for the new lug nuts. Check the video description, I linked everything you see here if you need to pick it up yourself. Alright, let's get over to the car, let's lift up the front and get it in a safe position for us to remove the front wheels. And make sure you guys watch this video all the way to the end so this way you could see how everything looked before the spacers and after. Once you get your rim off, take your Scotch-Brite pad or your wire wheel and really clean up this surface. Get it nice and smooth because you want the spacer to fit nice and flush on this surface when you're mounting it to your factory wheel studs. Next, we'll take our anti-seize and we'll paint a nice thin layer on the back side of our spacer. And then this part is really important. Make sure you get a nice good amount on this inner lip of your spacer because this is the section that's going to mount onto your wheel hub, and that section always gets very easily rusted. Now we can install the spacer on our wheel hub. Then we could take our thread locker and apply some to our factory wheel studs. Take the supplied hardware from your wheel spacers and thread it onto your factory wheel studs. Then use a regular socket here to tighten down this hardware because an impact socket will simply be too thick to do the job in this area. Grab your anti-seize again and apply a good layer on your spacer hub. Your rim is now going to sit on this hub, and that is also an area that is prone to rust and corrosion, so this is going to prevent that from happening. In order to tighten down our wheel spacers, we're going to have to hold those front rotors in place. If you don't have a helper to press down the brake pedal for you, I simply took 50 pounds and rested it on my brake pedal. Or you could take a screwdriver and stick it between the fins of your brake rotor and your caliper, and tighten each bolt down to 90 foot-pounds in a star pattern. Now we could go ahead and grab our wheel. Make sure the back side of your rims have deep enough pockets in this section in order to accept the factory wheel studs that are now sticking out a little bit past the wheel spacer. Then take your Scotch-Brite pad again and clean up this surface really good. Now go ahead and mount your rim to the spacer. Secure the wheel in place with your new lug nuts. And now tighten these down to 90 foot-pounds also in a star pattern. Once you complete both left and right side, you can now lower the front of the car back to the ground. And now we'll complete the same exact process on the rear. With all of that complete, now you can go ahead and lower the rear of the car back down to the ground. Alright guys, well here's the result. Top left is before the spacer, bottom right is after the 15mm spacer. Let me know down in the comments how you guys feel about this wheel fitment with these particular spacers. And I'm genuinely curious guys, and I'm sure some people out there watching this video are too, what is your strategy on pulling off a nice flush fitment based on your wheel and tire size combination? After this job is complete guys, make sure you take the car for a ride, maybe about 10 miles or so, come back, remove your wheels, and make sure all of your hardware is still at that 90 foot-pounds. If it is, then you are all good to go. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.